Beck's Unfiltered.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. Got a bit of a, well, would I say special? I don't know. It's the Beck's Unfiltered. Now, this seems to be a trend with ABInBev lately. They're doing unfiltered beer. They're doing the Stella Artois Unfiltered. I haven't managed to get hold of any of that at the moment because basically I'm a lazy bastard, and the only people that are doing it now, as far as I know, are Asda. And I think it's been spotted in Tesco's as well. There's a Morrison's up the road from me. They haven't got it in there, so I haven't got it yet. But it is definitely on the list because I've heard good things about it. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, even macro brewers can occasionally come up trumps with some decent beer. Rare though, I will say that. But so that's why I'm sort of trying this one out now. And my mate from Germany bought me this, Norby. Thank you very much for that, mate. Not seen this over here yet. And you can see when you look on these bottles, everything is written in German. So that's a genuine beer that has come from Germany. Yes, it's been brewed by ABInBev, but it's been brewed in Germany. Now, you do see beers that have made in wherever, and it's just covered in English writing. So unless they're doing separate cans or bottle labels that are all in English, which for independent brewers is a very expensive thing to do, then you have to take with a pinch of salt what they're saying. Now, I know that comes under the Trade Description Act over here, but that hasn't stopped brewers getting away with murder before. I'll go on to that in a bit when I talk about... I'm going to do a comparison video between, because I've got some Holsten Pilsner from Germany, and I'm going to get some Holsten Pils from across the road in Skunk Central. Thankfully, it's in cans, not in bottles. But the whole thing about the Reinheitsgebot and all that is on the can. And of course, you look on the side of the label, it says glucose syrup. So you just think, fuck you, you patronising bastards. Anyway, not going to go into a rant here. Let's come back to this beer. Now, Beck's, everyone surely knows Beck's. It's been widely available over here for, well, years. Basically, certainly for the last 20 years, maybe even 30 years. And it used to be a really decent lager until ABInBev got hold of it, and it's just gone fucking worse and worse and worse. Now, I did a comparison video. You may have seen it on there. If you haven't seen it, they did they do three different beers. Now, the cans that you get over here with Beck's are genuinely brewed in Germany. It says imported from Germany. It says it's brewed over in Bremen, and that comes over here, it is 5%. So that's how you know it's a genuine German beer. I'm not saying it's good just because it's made in Germany, but it is brewed in Germany. The other stuff you get in the bottles, who knows? They've even started shrinking the bottles down now to 270ml. They've been doing that with Stella as well, and still charging the price of 330ml. The fucking snaky bastards. This is what macro brewers do. It's all about profit for them, and the beer is secondary. Now, I've had conversations online with, I don't know if you know the craft beer channel. And they were doing a macro brewed blindfold test and etc. And they were talking about Staropramen. And I said, well, you can't really compare Staropramen to the stuff you're getting over in the Czech Republic because the ingredients are different. And they came back with, oh, well, the ingredients are imported, which I would dispute. I don't believe that for 1 minute. Certainly not with England leaving the EU, or the UK leaving the EU, I should say. And the import duties that would be charged on bringing over masses of Czech hops and Czech malt, etc. It just wouldn't make sense to do that. So the ingredients are different for starters, and it's brewed up in, I think, Northampton. I think Carlsberg are doing it, and it tastes like a bag lady's period. It's fucking rubbish. So then they came back with, and they also do blindfold tests to make sure that the recipe that they've got is similar. Fuck right off. If you do blindfold tests and you think the stuff you get in the Czech Republic is similar to what you're getting over here, then I don't care. You're not qualified to be tasting beer. That's my opinion, because the differences are stark. And I will do that with the Holsten Pils. I might even get me missus or my daughter to fill them out and not tell me, but only tell me afterwards. Because I do get that some people taste beer with their eyes. It's the same with musical equipment. If you listen to a guitar, you may think that it sounds better than another one, but in a blindfold test, it's rare. If you're using the same amp and you're using the same strings and it's the same player, it's rare you can tell the difference. So I do get that a lot of people do taste with their eyes, and it's good to do them blindfold tests. But even the blindfold tests, you would have to be fucking absolutely clueless to think that the two beers taste the same. I've tasted both and they taste nothing like each other. That's just me. Rant over. Let's get on to this beer. Right, 330ml bottle. It is it's unfiltered. It's 4.9%. So you've got 5%, you've got 4.7%, you've got 4%. Becks, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? How can you get different ABVs from what is essentially the same, or supposedly the same recipe? I don't know. There's some fucking shenanigans going on, certainly with Becks anyway. But yeah, it's a 330ml bottle. It's got the fat content, the carbohydrate content, and the salt content. We don't want to fucking know that. We want to know what the fuck you're putting into these beers. And as I say, all this is in German, so it's basically saying, yeah, it's unfiltered. What else? Blah, blah, blah. Deutsches Reinheitsgebot. That doesn't mean a fucking thing. Yeah, there you go. That's basically all you're going to get. It's got Anheuser-Busch. They're based in Bremen in Germany. It contains brew water, or Brauwasser, Gersten malts, Hopfen, and Hefe. Hefe, of course, is yeast. Naturtrubes Pils, cloudy Pils. This makes me think that the craft brewers are having an effect, and ABInBev are thinking maybe we should start doing cloudy beer. Don't get me wrong, if your beer's shit to start off with, leaving it cloudy is not going to make it taste any fucking nicer. But there you go. Let's get it open and let's see what's going on. Right, it looks like this is a twisty off cap. Or is it? No, it's not. It's fucking recycle. Look at the cap. That made me think. Can you see that? That made me think it was a twist off cap. Now, I've made this mistake in the past where I used to open bottles of beer with my teeth, and this is what happens, boys and girls. You lose your fucking teeth eventually. I didn't have great teeth to start off with, but yeah, opening cans of bottles of German beer does not fucking do anything good for your teeth. There's Captain Twat, who thought this was a twisty off cap. I did that once and pulled it off my teeth and it turned out to be a twist off cap. Oh, how everybody laughed except me. Right, let's get it into ye oldie glass. Oh, it smells skunked. Oh, and I can just smell it in the room now. It's like, tastes like cannabis, burnt, astringent grass, and cannabis, as in cannabis, skunk cannabis. Yeah, so you're not going to get a fucking good mark because of the green bottles. Why do you fucking do it? Fucking winds me up, that does. Maybe, and I do have half an idea why they do it. Some people have got so used to the taste of skunky beer that they expect that in the flavour of it, and they don't realise that it's a fucking horrible flavour. All I'm getting is skunky aromas from this. Will this die down? I'll try to keep this out of the light, but I don't know what it's been like on its journey, so that's all I'm getting is just skunkiness. And I really hope it doesn't affect the taste, but there you go. It is cloudy, as they say, but is there bits of yeast in there? Is there? Or isn't there? I don't know. When's the sell-by date on this? Oh, it's March. So this is slightly out of date. It's now April. That went out in March. It should be fine. I drank a Marston's beer that actually tasted good. Fucking hell, I know. That was the Levy. The McEwen's Levy. That didn't taste bad at all. Right, let's stop putting this off and let's get this tasted. Prost, as they say in Germany. Now that's cold, it's come out of the fridge, and that is lacking in a little bit of flavour. There is a skunky taste to it, and I can still smell it now. And I'm getting another dodgy aroma from it now as well. It's almost like a sweet corn type flavour from it, but it's not. It's just been overpowered by that skunky aroma. Fucking hell. There's no flavour to that, apart from the skunkiness. So that's what's making me think that it's left in the green bottle to give it some character. Unfortunately, that character is a fucking off flavour that shouldn't be there in the first place. The only thing I will say about it, it's not quite full bodied. It's a little bit more full bodied than your average macro brewed lager. But it just smells nasty. And it's still on there now. And there's a vague attempt at some malt trying to get through there, but it ain't having much luck. Nah, this is a fucking loser. This could have been reasonable if it was in a brown bottle or a can or whatever. But nah, they've fallen at the first hurdle there. And I keep getting requests, or not I keep getting requests, certain subscribers have said to me, can you review the Stella? And I'm loath to try it now, because if it's just going to be some full-bodied skunky beer, what's the point? It's just going to be another fucking rant. And there you go. The tyranny of macro brewers trying to keep up with craft brewers. Yeah, let's make it cloudy, put it in a green bottle, and fuck it off. We don't care. Look at us. We're brewing cloudy beer, which basically means it's easier for them to brew because they don't have to filter it. So they just throw it in there. Well, they do filter it a little bit, but it's not as filtered as the normal beer is. But there are elements of malt trying to get through there, but even that doesn't taste great. It's ABInBev. They do this on a massive scale. This beer's, well, not this beer, but Beck's is widely available. It's brewed in different countries. Put it in a green bottle. They don't give a fuck. Could be anything. Could be fucking anything. Oh, Christ almighty. This is what annoys me about, and this is why I do these reviews. Because I'm not saying this disparagingly, because I would have done it a few years ago before I really got into tasting beer and noticing the different flavours and discovering good beer. Then you come and revisit some old beer and you think to yourself, why the fuck did I ever drink that? I mean, this is fucking gash. Beck's, that's imported from Germany in a can, is reasonable. It tastes just okay. I wouldn't say it's a standout beer. Maybe the people of Bremen love it, but there's so much better beer out there in Germany, and I do get the loyalty thing. Why would you be loyal to a fucking macro brewer? I don't know, but I have seen it in the past. People, I've got one of my mates, Dave, he won't drink anything apart from Foster's, and that's fair enough, you know, if that's your taste and all that. But I do, it annoys me that it's like my stepdaughter when she buys pot noodles and shit like that, and I just think, why don't you just start cooking from scratch? It's going to be infinitely better. You'll feel better about yourself. You know what's going into the food. And if you get fresh ingredients, I sound like fucking Gordon Ramsay, don't I? For fuck's sake. But it does annoy me. And I see these bastardisations of certain dishes, and the same could be applied to beer as well. Where you get, I know this is brewed on a huge scale, so you have to take that into consideration as well. But there's no care taken into this. It's all computerised. All the ingredients, all the batches are measured out to the nearest gram. It's all done by computer. It's just thrown in. Everything's temperature controlled by computer. And I'm not knocking the technology for that, because that does mean that there is consistent flavour. So if you're brewing good beer and you're using that computer technology, that's brilliant, because you're going to get consistent results every time. I have no problem with that whatsoever. However, when you get the macro brewers doing it, there's just a complete disconnect from the brewers to what they're actually brewing. Now, you can argue, and the brewers could argue as well, and ABInBev can argue, oh, that's not the case, all the people we employ, they're passionate about beer and all that. If you're passionate about beer and you taste this and you say, I've done the best I can, and this is the product of the best I can do, then fucking hell, really? People are paying money for this and drinking it. I despair. It's like music as well, people listen to shit music, in my opinion, what's shit music. And I know it's all subjective, it all comes down to taste, but I listen to some of the shit, the pop that's around today. I sound like my fucking dad now, don't I? Jesus Christ. I've turned into my dad. Fucking hell, there's a fag hanging out of my mouth and the fucking racing on the telly. Should I really go into these rants? Shouldn't really. But it annoys me. It does annoy me, because people will, times are hard at the moment. People are, in the UK, I'm not sure about everywhere else. I think this war in the Ukraine has had a lot of effect on, certainly in Germany as well, it's had an effect on people's fuel bills and stuff like that. So money's tight. And, having a beer, you could argue, is a luxury, but money's tight and you want to get the best. But there are beers that are the same price and they're infinitely better. And yet, ABInBev put this out. And ABInBev could turn around and say, well, if you don't like it, don't fucking buy it. And I get that. But I'm reviewing beer. And I didn't pay for this. I got this as a freebie. Well, I did, I suppose, because I got him a load of British beer. So you could argue that I did pay for it in a way. But, I don't know, it just fucking annoys me that people are spending their hard-earned cash on shit like this. And it is shit. And the reason it's shit is because it was just an okay beer to start off with. But they put it in a green bottle. They've gone arty-farty with it, tried to get it fucking cloudy. It's given it a little bit of body. It's given it no flavour, not in my opinion. That could be anything. And it smells fucking nasty as well. That is not appealing. I tried the Weltenberger Barock Dunkel. I shouldn't be. That's the extreme opposite to a macro brewer. They're a genuine, one of the oldest Abbey brewers in Germany. I tried that yesterday, and it's one of the best Dunkels I've tried. Arguably one of the best beers in the world. Certainly in the Dunkel stakes, I think it's one of the best. It's certainly one of my favourites. And the price difference between that and this, beer is cheap in Germany. And if people go for this, I just think, why? Why do people do it? But, I don't want to come across as one of these evangelists when it comes to beer. If you like this and you buy it, and you consciously want to buy that, then that's fine. But I just think there are so many better beers out there. When I say at the end of my videos, life is too short to be drinking shitty beer, I genuinely mean it. And I'd be shocked, well, apart from me mate Dave, who only drinks Foster's, if I got any, but even so, if I got him a bottle of Augustina or some really good, even Paulana or something like that, and he drank that, he wouldn't turn his nose up at it, because it's a decent beer. And I've seen it before when mates have come round, and I've had bottles of Hofbrau in the fridge, because I do go to Morrison's and I have that as a fridge filler. And a couple of my mates have come round, not mentioned the word once, just said, you fancy beer, filled it out. They're talking along, talking about completely unrelated stuff, and then all of a sudden they'll stop and go, God, this is lovely stuff, what is it? And they'll ask, because it is that good. They're not going to fucking ask what this is. Oh, they might do and say, what the fuck is this? But I need to stop ranting and put it down now, because what are you upset about then, you fucking twat? Well, I'm upset that they're still putting beer in green bottles. I know it's a trademark of Beck's, but I guarantee you, if you started putting it in brown bottles, nobody would give a fuck. They really wouldn't, and you may even get a few more people buying your beer. It can't taste any worse. The fucking Heineken do it as well, and I'm convinced they rely on the skunky flavour because people have got so used to that flavour. But that's what I'm annoyed about, and I'm annoyed about them trying to do unfiltered beer and make out that it's, you know, they're trying to improve the flavour and all that. But I'd rather you did filtered beer, but just put it in a fucking brown bottle. Then maybe we might get an idea of what your beer really fucking tastes like. Yes, you put it in cans, I know. But, do you know what? Why do I fucking bother? Why do I fucking bother? I don't know why I buy these beers. For entertainment. I'm here to entertain you.
I make you laugh? I'm here to fucking amuse you? What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Oh, fuck me. West Ham are on in a minute. We're playing Chelsea. And I don't want to be a doom and gloom merchant. We'll probably fucking lose that, but it sounds like Eeyore. I better stop there. Let's give you the verdict. So what is the verdict on Beck's Unfiltered? Oh, fuck me. Don't bother. And I'm not saying that flippantly. I genuinely mean don't bother. There may be a good beer in here, but if you're going to put it in a green bottle, forget it. I'll never know what it tastes like. If you've got it in a can, and I'm not sure whether they do it in cans, but if I can find it in a can, I may review it again. But if you look to my Peroni video, I had a little bit of a rant there as well. And the same thing about green bottles. Green bottles will fuck your beer up, and it boils my piss. Even Budvar, who I really like, Budvar, I can drink their stuff in the cans all day long, and it's lovely. It's a really good beer. So why the fuck are you putting them in green bottles? Surely, if I know that, and they're brewers, surely they know that. If it's your marketing twats saying, no, it's got to be in a green bottle, then, well, fuck them. Fuck them marketing twats.
By the way, if anyone here is in advertising or marketing, kill yourself.
If you really want your beer to taste good, and you genuinely have a care that you want people to taste how good your beer is, don't put it in a fucking green bottle. Oh, rant over. So what mark are you going to give it? Oh, I can feel my eyes getting heavy. I'm starting to fucking lose the will to live. Why do I do it? Why do I do it? I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Why are you giving it 3? I don't know. I just plucked 3 out of the air. It smells nasty. No, I'm not going to give it a 3. No, fuck you. I'm not giving you a 3. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. It's like what I gave the Becks that I did the comparison video. I just don't like your beer. I'm sure there may be a good beer trying to get out there. Well, there isn't. There's an average beer because I've had it in the can. From Germany, and I've had Beck's in Germany as well. I've had it on tap as well, and it tasted reasonably good. But it went straight into a keg. There's absolutely no fucking light getting into it whatsoever, and it tasted reasonably good. But this stuff, you're doing yourself a disservice if your beer is genuinely good, because, as far as I'm concerned, that is dog shit. It smells nasty, skunky. 1 out of 10. Not recommended. Remember, I'm drinking this shit, so you don't have to.